Have you ever noticed how hard you chase peace? Not the kind of peace you read about in quotes or find on a beach with calming music playing, but the deep, honest peace that you hope will finally silence the storm in your mind. And yet, the more you chase it, the more distant it seems. It's like trying to catch your own shadow. The closer you think you are, the faster it slips away. You try meditating, journaling, taking deep breaths, walking in nature, reading all the books, watching all the videos, but somehow it still doesn't land. Not for long. Because here's the truth most won't admit. Chasing peace is still chasing. It's still resistance. It's still rooted in the belief that something's missing, that you need to fix, control, or achieve peace like it's a goal on a checklist. But real peace, it's not something you earn by doing more. It's what arrives when you finally stop running. This is where the paradox starts to make sense. Real peace, the kind that sits in your bones and doesn't leave when things get loud, doesn't come when you chase it. It comes when you surrender, not give up, not collapse, but stop the chase that's been keeping you tired, disconnected, and out of sync with your own life. You see, we've confused peace with comfort. We think peace is what we get when everything is perfect. No arguments, no mistakes, no chaos. But that's not peace. That's control wearing a mask. Peace isn't the absence of noise. It's the ability to stay grounded while the noise exists. And you only learn that kind of stillness when you stop trying to manufacture it and instead allow it to find you, like a wild animal that only approaches when you stop reaching out and sit quietly long enough. That's the kind of peace we're talking about here. The kind you don't chase, but return to. You might not realize this, but every time you go searching for peace in a person, a plan, or even a practice, there's a subtle message underneath. I'm not okay yet. I need to be somewhere else. I need to fix something first. That belief is the very thing that keeps you in tension. That's the trap. Because the more you believe peace is out there, the more you separate yourself from it right here. You're not alone in this. We've all been taught that peace is something to earn through effort, progress, success, perfection. We believe that if we just get our life in order, if we become the right version of ourselves, if we find the right partner, the right place, the right plan, then peace will finally arrive like a reward for good behavior. But let me ask you something real. When has chasing ever given you the peace you were looking for? Most of the time, the harder we try to fix ourselves, the more broken we feel. The more we fight for clarity, the more confused we get. It's not because something's wrong with you. It's because you're using effort in a place where surrender is required. There's an old Zen saying, muddy water clears itself when left alone. Think about that. Not when stirred, not when analyzed, not when you throw in some chemical solution. It clears when left alone. That's what the mind does too. But we don't leave it alone. We poke it, push it, try to clean it faster. And in doing so, we stir it up even more. We forget how to simply sit in the moment without needing to fix it, to breathe through it, to let it pass like a cloud, instead of trying to grab the cloud and turn it into something it was never meant to be. Peace isn't a chase, it's a return, a coming home to what's been here all along, but got buried under noise, pressure, and 1,000 self-help instructions. And sometimes, you don't need more motivation. You need permission. Permission to pause. Permission to stop trying so hard. Permission to let go of who you think you should be so you can finally meet who you already are. Because the peace you're chasing, it's not in the future. It's in your non-resistance to the present. Have you ever sat in a quiet room, phone off, no noise, no stimulation, and felt uncomfortable? Like something inside you starts pacing? That's not boredom. That's withdrawal. Withdrawal from the addiction to always doing, always fixing, always searching for something to soothe that inner restlessness. And here's the hard truth. Most of us don't want peace. We want relief. And they're not the same thing. Relief is temporary. It's escape. It's scrolling. It's distractions, mindless affirmations, or even spiritual content. Anything that gives you a break from the noise in your head. But peace is when the noise no longer owns you. To get there, you don't need to chase more answers. You need to stop running from silence. Because here's what no one tells you. Silence isn't empty. It's full of every truth you've been avoiding. When you stop chasing peace, what surfaces first isn't always calm. Sometimes it's rage, guilt, grief, all the emotions you've buried under your productivity, your routines, your need to keep it together. But this is the threshold. This is the doorway. You don't need to run past it, you need to stand in it. True peace doesn't come when everything is calm outside. It comes when you're no longer terrified of what's happening inside. It's when you can sit with your own chaos and say, I'm not afraid of this anymore. Not because you conquered it, but because you finally stopped seeing it as the enemy. And maybe no one ever taught you this. Maybe no one told you that your mind can be loud, and your heart can be heavy, and you can still be okay. Maybe no one gave you the language for healing without fixing, for resting without guilt, for letting go without failure. So let this moment be that reminder. Peace was never something to chase. It was something waiting for you to stop running. There's this illusion that's been sold to us since we were kids, that once you figure it out, life gets easier. That if you just read enough, heal enough, grind enough, meditate enough, you'll arrive at this magical place where nothing shakes you. But here's the truth no one wants to say out loud. You never fully arrive. You unfold. And peace, real, grounded, lasting peace, it's not a final destination. It's a relationship you build slowly, painfully, patiently with yourself. Some days it feels like still water. Other days it's a storm. And the maturity you need isn't in calming the storm. It's in learning how to be with yourself through it. That's why chasing peace doesn't work. Because the chase itself is born from a belief that you're not enough without it. That until you reach that perfect mindset, that Zen-like calm, you're broken, behind, or failing. And so you try to micromanage your own growth. You read the books, you highlight the quotes, you journal the affirmations, and yet nothing sticks. Because deep down, you're still trying to escape yourself. But here's the thing. The moment you stop trying to fix everything, something else starts happening. You begin to feel again. Not in bursts, but in waves. You remember what it's like to breathe without waiting for the next task. You start noticing the sky again, the way your coffee smells, the sound of your own laugh. You're not healed, but you're here, and that is enough. There's a concept in Japanese Zen called ma. It's the space between things, the pause between notes in a song, the stillness before a breath. And in a world obsessed with doing more, achieving more, fixing more, Ma reminds us that the silence between actions is not emptiness. It's where life happens. Most of us don't lack answers. We lack the space to actually hear them. And sometimes you don't need another breakthrough. You need a quiet evening. You need to lie on the floor and feel the weight of your body. You need to stop fighting and let the dust settle inside you. Because when you stop chasing peace and start allowing presence, you realize something shocking. Peace wasn't a prize. It was the foundation you abandoned trying to win a race no one asked you to run. So pause. Not because you're quitting, but because you're finally choosing to live without rushing past yourself. Most people don't realize this, but the constant need to fix yourself is just another disguise for self-rejection. When you're always working on yourself, always chasing some higher version of you, always correcting, improving, optimizing, what you're really saying to yourself is, I'm not okay as I am. And that's where the silent war begins. Not against the world, but against your own being. You wake up every morning with this subtle tension in your chest, this pressure to perform healing like it's another job. You start confusing self-awareness with self-surveillance. You think you're being conscious, but you're just being critical. You scroll through videos that say, stop chasing, while chasing the next dopamine hit from another piece of advice. You meditate, but you're really just waiting for the discomfort to go away, not listening to it. You've created a new identity, someone who's on the path, who's doing the work, who's spiritual. But deep down, you're exhausted. Not because you're broken, but because you've been carrying the burden of perfection disguised as growth. That's why nothing ever feels enough, because you've turned your healing into a performance, a checklist, a to-do list for your soul. And here's the raw truth. You don't heal by constantly fixing yourself. You heal when you stop running from who you already are. Carl Jung once said, "We don't become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious." That means sitting in your shadows, not judging them, not bypassing them, not rebranding them as lessons, but holding them, even when they shake. It means you stop trying to chase peace like it's some distant reward, and instead, you grieve all the times you abandon yourself just to feel a little more okay in someone else's eyes. There's more peace in crying honestly than in pretending to be calm. There's more clarity in one raw breakdown than in 100 surface-level breakthroughs. You don't need more strategies. You need to remember how to feel, without editing it, because the more you allow yourself to just be, in the chaos, in the confusion, in the stillness, the more life begins to meet you there. Not because you forced it, but because you finally stopped running long enough for it to catch up with you. There's a kind of peace that doesn't feel like peace at first. It's the moment after everything falls apart. No soothing music, no beautiful insights, just silence. That hollow kind of silence that creeps in after you've stopped pretending, after the fight leaves your body, after the masks drop and you're left staring at yourself with nothing left to perform. That's the real beginning. Not the day you start a new habit, not the day you write affirmations, but the day you sit on the floor. No more answers, no more ideas. Just you and the part of you that's been asking to be seen all along. It's wild, isn't it? How often we chase a calm life by doing everything except calming down. We chase love by proving we're worthy. We chase stillness by filling every hour with noise. We chase clarity by consuming more instead of stopping to digest what's already inside us. And then it hits. You realize you were never meant to chase peace, because peace was never running from you. It was right there, beneath the noise, beneath the plans, beneath the version of you trying to hold it all together. You just couldn't hear it over the sound of trying so hard. This is the part most people don't talk about. Peace doesn't show up looking like joy. Sometimes it looks like boredom at first. Sometimes it looks like letting go of people who made you feel needed. Sometimes it looks like saying no to things that once made you feel alive, because now they only distract you from what's real. True peace comes with consequences. It might shrink your circle. It might disrupt your routines. It might make your ego feel useless, unimportant, even invisible. But that's the trade. That's the cost of not needing to be anything other than what you are right now. Peace isn't always soft. Sometimes it's fierce. Sometimes it tells you to walk away from everything that gave you a false sense of control. Sometimes it asks you to feel things you've avoided your whole life. But once it's there, once it roots in your body, you stop apologizing for resting. You stop explaining why you're not chasing. You stop proving anything to anyone, especially yourself, because now you're not performing peace, you're living it. So now you're here, not at the end of the video, but at the edge of something quieter, something more honest. And the real question isn't, what do I do next? It's, what can I finally stop doing? Can you stop trying to fix what was never broken? Can you stop chasing people who only love the version of you that was always proving, always pleasing? Can you stop forcing your mind to outrun your soul? Because maybe, just maybe, peace isn't something you earn. It's what returns the moment you no longer need to be at war with yourself. So today, I'm not asking you to change your whole life. I'm asking you to pause. Just pause and feel what's been underneath all that effort, that restlessness, that anxiety, that ache for more. It's not weakness. It's your compass. It's the part of you that remembers what real alignment feels like and is begging you to come back to it. You don't need more answers. You need less noise. You don't need to force transformation. You need to trust the space where it naturally happens. And if that message speaks to you, even in the quietest way, don't just nod and scroll. Comment below right now and tell me, what's the one thing you're finally ready to stop forcing? Say it out loud. Put it into words. Not for me, for you. Because sometimes that's all it takes to change the entire direction of your inner world. And if you're on this path with me, if this hits something real for you, subscribe. Not because you should, but because this space is for people like you. People who are done pretending, done performing, done chasing a peace that was never gone, just buried. The next video goes even deeper into this. And I promise, it's not just another feel-good message. It's a shift. And if you're ready to stop chasing, you're ready to hear it. I'll see you there.